Trump having a 38-minute music party.
Oh, I saw that where he was just kind of standing there
so
creepily.
Do you know what happened? Like, do you know the full lead up to where?
No, I don't.
Okay, so he's in a town hall, supposed to be people in the audience asking him questions. Someone faints, call for medic, whatever, blah, 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 whatever. As they're waiting for the medic to get to him, he like goes to a sound guy who I guess his sound guy was named Justin. So he like just, it was really weird for me watching that to hear Trump say, "Justin, play Ave Maria." So like while they were waiting for medical attention for someone who fainted because of the heat, he's playing Ave Maria. And then after that was all done, I think he took one more question. Someone else fainted, to which his response was, "Justin, play Ave Maria again." So as they're waiting for that guy to get taken care of, they're playing Ave Maria again. After that happens, he then is like, "Hey, you know what? Nobody really wants to hear questions or whatever, so let's just like listen to some music." At which point his teleprompters showed up. So like what's her face? Christy Gnome, Puppy Killer. She was like trying to get him to, "Oh, let's just do 2 more questions." Like, "Yeah, okay, we can do your music thing, but let's just do 2 more questions." And then he ignored her. And at that point, one of the cameras picked up his teleprompter, had written on it, "Please do 2 more questions before you start music." So like his staff was literally begging him to not do that because they knew how bad it was going to look. And then he just stood there playing, I guess, his Spotify playlist. And it started with like they played a version of Ave Maria that I guess he didn't like. So he's like, "Oh, let's get the one with Pavarotti singing it. Let's play Pavarotti singing Ave Maria." And yeah, then it just went from there to like like a random assortment of, I guess, his Spotify playlist, and he just stood there occasionally like swaying back and forth to the music. And yeah, it was weird. It was like, fucking weird.
Don't get me wrong. I've done exactly that to my stream, making them listen to music from the Sonic the Hedgehog series. But I feel like when I do it, it's less creepy old man. For now. I'll get older and it will be.
Yeah, but also, like, I don't imagine you do that when you are at an event where you are supposed to be available for questions, like direct questions from your audience.
No, not generally.
And you especially wouldn't do that if that event was part of you campaigning to be the most powerful person on the planet.
Again, not generally. The last time I was at a big event where I was one of the people that it was
from
for.
Hunchback? Do they have Ave Maria and Hunchback?
Believe so? Hold on.
No, I'm thinking like there is a Gregorian chant that they do leading into Esmeralda's song. I don't think it's Ave Maria though. Hellfire is a good song, also not Ave Maria. Why is everybody saying Hellfire? That is not even close to Ave Maria. It's one of the best fucking...
Wait, no, Ave Maria is in Hunchback.
Like the actual Ave Maria, or do they have Ave Maria as one of the chants in the background of Hellfire? Because I know there's a bunch of Latin going on there.
No, it's an exchange from Frollo to Quasimodo. Yeah, no, it's in Hunchback.
It's Beata Maria, not Ave Maria. Beata Maria, you know I am a righteous man. I'm not going to sing. We did that last time.
Technically, we didn't do it live last time.
No, but
also,
we had the link.
Paladin Lost, thank you for resubscribing. Nixie Chan, thank you for resubscribing. Gideon Wells, Spectacular. Why was it so hard for me to pronounce Spectacular? What? And Jassa Proxy, thank you all as well. Zan says, "Here comes the copyright strike." They can fucking try.
I didn't sing enough of it well enough to get a copyright. EB the Nerd, am I the only one who didn't mind the gargoyles from Hunchback? Okay, so I love Hunchback of Notre Dame. I know the gargoyles are over the top too much. It's tonally an issue for the movie, but I also don't mind them because I feel like the rest of the movie is strong enough that it makes up for it. And I know that's my Disney hot take, is that Hunchback is good actually. But like a big part of that is the music. Like Hellfire fucking slaps. like the bells of Notre Dame. I mean, okay. It is the Disney children's movie that has the most racial slurs just said in it.
I mean, it does. It
but
does.
also,
I want to also say during that time, that wasn't as considered to be that way for general populace.
No. Even still, I think most people don't think that it has the same impact as the N-word.
Yeah.
It's like, that's definitely not one that I'm going to be saying anytime soon, but like when I think of showing my kids that movie, I would have a worse thought about like having, like, if there was some kid's cartoon that was using the N-word all over the place just to describe people in it, and not making a point of saying, oh, like, oh yeah, this is a bad way to refer to them.
Yeah, if you want that.
So Rosina's asking, did you both ever do that duet you promised on a previous stream? Yes, we did. We linked to it on the last one. It is the pinned comment of my YouTube video of last week's stream, so if you need to find it, you can go do it that way. I will not be facilitating that anymore because we're garbage.
Yeah. Also, fun fact, when we were setting up for that, I completely fucked up. I practiced a different song leading up to it, so that I went in effectively with no ability.
To be fair, you did practice the song that we have spoken about duetting most. That just isn't the one that they paid us for.
It's true. It's true. I've still made many mistakes, and I am upset with myself.
It's okay.
I was stressed.
I sang over one of your lines.
We and you specifically said that you would not be re-recording it because fuck me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, Trump had a 38-minute music party. Next up, we also had Trump in several different places. He called for the military to be used against Americans, the National Guard and Americans, calling them the enemy within. At one point, he singled out both Adam Schiff and Nancy Pelosi as people who would be targets of that action.
God, I'm so thrilled to be living in America,
and
where
like,
slowly it's getting worse and worse.
Oh, I actually have I have a clip of I don't remember what.
I think the bigger problem is the enemy from within. Not even the people that have come in and destroying our country. By the way, totally destroying our country. The towns, the villages, they're being inundated. But I don't think they're the problem in terms of election day. I think the bigger problem are the people from within. We have some very bad people. We have some sick people, radical left lunatics. And I think they're and it should be very easily handled by, if necessary, by National Guard, or if really necessary, by the military, because they can't let that happen.
Now, yay! God, I love hearing somebody say that I need to just be handled by the military.
They're trying to spin that as him talking specifically about riots, but there have been other places where he's made it very clear that he's talking about his political opponents. Yeah,
what the fuck do they consider a radical leftist? Because like that's just anybody that doesn't like capitalism to them. And
going back to Harris's interview, they asked Harris about this, and they tried to pull that, like, oh no, he was just talking about the National Guard or whatever. And this is the moment that I think Harris did the best in the debate. I'm calling it a debate, kind of was. But yeah.
If he's as bad as you say, that half of this country is now supporting this person who could be the 47th president of the United States, why is that happening?
This is an election for president of the United States. It's not supposed to be easy.
I know, but
it's not supposed to be. It is not supposed to be a cakewalk for anyone.
So are they misguided, the 50%?
Listen,
are they stupid? What is it?
I would never say that about the American people. And in fact, if you listen to Donald Trump, if you watch any of his rallies, he's the one who tends to demean and belittle and diminish the American people. He's the one who talks about an enemy within, an enemy within, talking about the American people, suggesting he would turn the American military on the American people.
We asked that question to the former president today. Harris Faulkner had a town hall, and this is how he responded.
I heard about that. They were saying I was like threatening. I'm not threatening anybody. They're the ones doing the threatening. They do phony investigations. I've been investigated more than Alphonse Capone. He was the greatest gangster. No, it's true.
I've been investigated more than Al Capone. No, the fuck you haven't.
So,
Brett, I'm sorry, and with all due respect, that clip was not what he has been saying about the enemy within that he has repeated when he's speaking about the American people. That's not what you just showed.
well, he was asked
No,
about
that's not what you just showed. In all fairness and
I'm
respect to
telling you, that was the question that we asked him.
You didn't show that, and here's the bottom line. He has repeated it many times, and you and I both know that. And you and I both know that he has talked about turning the American military on the American people. He has talked about going after people who are engaged in peaceful protest. He has talked about locking people up because they disagree with him.
This is a democracy.
And in a democracy, the President of the United States, in the United States of America, should be willing to be able to handle criticism without saying he'd lock people up for doing it. And this is what is at stake, which is why you have someone like the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff saying what Mark Milley has said about Donald Trump being a threat to the United States of America.
He's quoted in the Bob Woodward book that way, yes. Let me ask.
Yeah, so I think Harris knocked that one out of the park. I also like that they tried to do that thing that people keep doing with Trump supporters, where like they'll quote Trump and then the Trump supporter will be, oh, he never said that. Oh, really? He never said, play the clip. And then they'll just play the clip of Trump saying that. Like, they tried to do that, but it didn't quite work since Trump never actually clarified that he didn't mean turning the military on the American people.
No, he literally just said, no, that's what they're doing. That's what they're saying.
And then he went off on a tangent that was unrelated, because that's what Trump does. He doesn't know how to stick to a topic. But yeah, so it's frightening that we're living in a time where one of the major candidates for president who has a not zero chance of winning is actually threatening to use the military against Americans who disagree with him.
Yep.
Now, in all the stuff that's been, like, most of this is news that's I've become aware of today, and throughout all this, I had a bit of an epiphany regarding Trump and tariffs. I think I understand why Trump seems incapable of understanding why tariffs would, like, raise prices for things. It's because if you look at what we know about the Trump Bible, by the time that Bible hits American soil, it costs him $2. He then jacks up the price to $60 and makes a massive profit. You slap a 200% tariff on those Bibles, if he doesn't change the price, his profit margin is still 900%. So from his perspective, now, don't get me wrong, you slap a tariff on that, he absolutely would raise the price and blame the tariffs for it. But from his perspective, he's like, oh yeah, no, I could still make bank even if I don't raise the price. So yeah, no, tariffs don't raise the price.
Well, because it's impossible for him to consider the perspective of anybody who's not also Donald Trump.
Yeah, so like he doesn't understand the idea of, like, he's talking about car manufacturing, how like they make the cars in Mexico. Okay, making a car is, there's so much involved in that is not just putting the car together in the factory. That like just between the Canadian and American border, in order to make a car in the USA, there are parts that cross the border like 15 times before it makes it to the final factory that actually puts the car together, which he said was work that a child could do at a recent event.
Do you want a child putting your car together?
No. You know what? I think a child put my van together, the last one that I had that I got rid of.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that being why we had so many issues with that, but yeah, no, like a child could not put a car together, and in order to get the parts there, it crosses the border so many times. Now, every time it crosses the border, when it comes back, it's got a 200% tariff on it. That's going to that's going to massively affect the price. Even more on the Trump Bible, with Oklahoma paying $30 more than the listed price. What? Are they paying $90 for the Trump Bibles? God, I hope that gets squished in the courts. It's not going to, but come on.
Yeah, I hope similar. I would hope similar.
So that was my epiphany about Trump and tariffs. That like he doesn't understand the idea that a company is not already charging such a high markup that another 200% can just be eaten up by their profits without changing the price.
I mean, again, it makes perfect sense that he wouldn't be able to figure that out, though, because again, this is a person who does not consider perspectives outside of his own. This is a person who is categorically unable to experience empathy.
Yeah, so Secular Storm Chaser for $10 says, so since Trump has said he used the military against the internal enemy, is it at best false where he's signaling to those who believe the deep state, or worse, he's actually going after Americans? Yeah, no, he's actually planning on going after Americans. Like, he's named at least a couple of them. Adam Schiff and Nancy Pelosi are two that he is actually named as people he's going to go after with the military or National Guard. Funnily enough, regarding the deep state, Project 2025 is literally the Republican plan for instituting a deep state. Like, every accusation is a confession. We want a deep state. This is how we do it.
If you get rid of every single person who is a careered official and you replace them instead with people who are not experts in their field anymore, but people who are just loyalists to a single person, in what way is that not just creating a deep state? What way is that not
effectively a deep state? It's
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm also we're not going to cover the swastika flags that were being flown during the Trump boat event, the boat rally.
If you go to an event and you see this flag and nobody is taking it down, congratulations, you're at a Nazi event.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that in context of a tweet that was like, hey, if you're still undecided in this election, here's a helpful voting guide. Step 1, figure out which candidate the Nazis are supporting. Step 2, vote for the other one.
Yeah, I like how recently all the Nazis are coming out of the woodwork to support Asmongold. Weird.
Yeah, no, like if like Trump has the support of Nazis, he uses fascist rhetoric. To say that he's a threat to democracy is not, like, it's not unwarranted at this point. Although, once again, it's really amusing to me that they'll say that, like, oh, calling Trump a threat to democracy is literally calling for violence against him, and then Trump will actually use the term threat to democracy when talking about Kamala Harris. So it's like, if you're going to be consistent and calling someone a threat to democracy is a call for violence, you are literally calling for violence against your political opponent. Like, there's no other way to interpret that.
Yeah.
Now, I disagree. I say calling someone who is actually a threat to democracy is not a call for violence.
It's
not inherently.
A spade.
Yeah. Now, that being said, I also understand that contextually it can be a call to violence. For instance, the way Trump uses it. Knowing that his supporters are who they are.
Well, there are very fine people on both sides right now, just so you know.
Ninjester says, be like the Blues Brothers, hate Illinois Nazis. Agree. And Rosina said David Duke endorsed Jill Stein. I mean...
I, too, enjoy endorsing useless people. I mean, what?
Content83 gifted a sub to someone. I haven't seen who yet. So thank you for gifting the sub. Oh yeah, this one's not in my notes, but I'm also not covering the supposed assassination attempt that they're talking about now. It's like, no, they just arrested a guy that showed up with guns. Like, there being guns in the proximity of a Republican event just says that there's Republicans there who like the Second Amendment. Like, that's not...
Which means they just have Republicans there.
Yeah, like, well, this guy's affiliated with the Libertarians. Like, he's a Republican libertarian. It's like, yeah, those are the kind of people you would expect to have a bunch of guns on them. That doesn't mean he was going there to kill Trump. But, yeah, but, and, like, even if he was, this once again, hey, Who is it that's been trying to assassinate Trump? It's been Republicans every single time.
Altfax has no YouTube stream, Suris. So I haven't re-enabled Restream yet. I need to, but Restream has been very, very funky lately on my end. And I don't have the spoons to fuck with it.
Sounds like a skill issue.
Oh, 100% is. I've never said I'm a good streamer. I'm just a streamer that got very lucky.
Another news item we're not really covering. This is good news, so I wanted to talk about it. A judge in Georgia ruled that local election officials do not have the power to refuse to certify results. The process is mandatory and deadlines must be met.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. That makes me very excited.
Yeah, and it was a Republican-appointed judge. Although it's the same one that oversaw the grand jury that indicted Trump, so I don't feel like the Trumpers are going to really accept that he's a Republican-appointed judge. He's from back in the era where we didn't really care whether it was a Republican or a Democrat that appointed a judge. You just appointed the people who were qualified to be judges.
Yeah, but now we need to make sure that we get rid of that pesky Roe versus Wade.
Yeah. And related to that, early voting in Georgia has hit record levels by, like, a lot. Last I heard, it was like 150% higher than the previous record.
Also very good.
That is good, because when turnout is high, Republicans lose.
Yup.
And Rosina says, yay for Georgia courts this time. That is, yeah, Georgia courts doing a good thing is not a common occurrence on this show. It's usually the exact opposite.
Yeah, they kind of suck usually.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well.
Oh, we got someone gifting a bunch, so there's going to be a bunch of oohs coming.
Ravi says, I like rusty spoons. I like salad fingers, too. Oh, whoa.
I don't like salad fingers.
You don't like the feeling of the nettles on your teeth?
Oh, no, this was... Okay, no, it's not Twitch gifting subs. This is Rosina gifted 5 memberships. So thank you, Rosina, for gifting those 5 memberships.
Oh, well.
We'll have to we'll have to wait out all the oohs.
You did this. Oh, whoa.
I did this once because I thought it was funny, and then because I'm lazy, I haven't changed it.
And now here we are.
Now here we are. Yep. I still have the button. Oh, wrong button.
No, that's the right one.
I'm just picturing Emperor's New Groove. Pull the lever, Kronk! Wrong
lever! Oh, whoa.
There it is.
Oh, whoa.
Ooh, small beans, little babies.
Okay. Shall we do...
I've been introducing Saki to HBomberGuy, and she's gone, oh my god, his videos are hilarious. How often does he put one out?
I mean, he was putting out several a year 7 years ago.
Yeah, but that was back when he was doing, like, video game analysis.
Yeah, but it's not like it was not in-depth analysis. Like, when you have a 2.5-hour video on fucking Pathologic the game that takes you, like, 4 days to play through, and he plays through it 5 times so he can get all the different endings.
Yeah. Oh, no, they were certainly extensive back then, too. It's just... what he does now requires even more research than that.
True. Yes.
I still think he probably has what I would now consider the definitive video on the anti-vax movement.
Yep. Yeah.
Like,
every time I think about, like, hey, maybe I should go through the Wakefield study, I'm like, nope. HBomberGuy did it way better than I ever would.
Yeah.
I would not have caught all those little connections.
I do not have the required skill nor the required tism.
Okay. Shall we do some actual news this time?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Hey, just wanted to give a quick thank you to all of my wonderful patrons who help keep me afloat and help keep this channel going. YouTube and Twitch are wonderful platforms, but at the end of the day, stability is not one of their strong suits. If you want to support my channel, then obviously Patreon is one of the best ways of doing that. Link is in the description. But I do want to personally thank everybody who has contributed to the channel. Those people would be Red Joker, Purple Poundini, Jemshin, Britzkrieg, Jupe the Malignant, Michael, Ravalern, Mabbity Babbity, Astral Frontier, Autumn and Angel, Nixie Chan, Agamotto, Victorian Alchemist, I'm not saying the last part of that, and you know that, Arcton Arclacier, Kiratorian, Dren Hadamata, Jordan M, John L, Lord Bleck, Smiling Game Master, and Fireshard. And everyone else who supports my channel and lets me do what I do full time. This is a dream job of mine that I never believed that I would be able to take full time, and with your help, I've been able to do it. So thank you so very much for that. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you all enjoy, and I hope you all are having a wonderful time. I will see you all in the next one, hopefully.